here we are at the Whole Wheatery, our pharmacy.
You gotta learn to dance in the rain, people. We're dancing in the rain.
We had a great show for you today. We're excited. Lots going on in the Antelope Valley and across America. We want to thank On the Air TV Globe for syndicating us all over America. And, of course, our local sponsors here in the Antelope Valley. Besides the Whole Wheatery, we got Avens. Avens has a great sale going on right now. Lazy Boys.
Every holiday deserves a reclining human being.
Yes, that's right. At Antelope Valley Florist. Which last night, we have a piece we're going to... He doesn't need to be here. He's in two pieces here today.
Oh, he's here. He's here by the button.
That's
Davey
right.
Nice. Chris Biker's always present when there's niceness going around.
That's right. There we go.
So what about Bob Finberg, Lancaster Insurance Services?
Independent insurance broker, and he's bringing it. Hey, if you have a home, this is fire season. You need to let him look at your policy, talk to you, because he has like 40, 50 options. He's not just like an Allstate or something like that. He has all across the board. So give him a chance.
He'll look out for you at no cost, give you a consultation, pat you on the back when you got all your ducks in a row, and then help you fine tune so that you're not caught in a predicament that could make devastation even more devastating.
Antelope Valley Christian Schools, tremendous. They had 20 graduating students, all going to Division I schools. We have a piece right now, not now, but this morning, with Tiffany, who was the salutatorian. Is that right? Salutatorian. Something like that.
Salutatorian.
That's it. And of course, we want to thank our live performer here. This is Kevin Herrera on I want to say ivory. That's not it.
Hey, how's it going?
It's on the strings. He's on the guitar strings, the master guitarist.
Join live.
Yeah, joining live and just helping to lift all the spirits around us. What a blessing we have, Jim Greenleaf.
It's true. It's very true. Wayne and Dave's Automotive. 28 years, 26 years been here in the Antelope Valley. The guy is racing cars. As we speak right now, Wayne is in Sonora, racing on the road course with his son.
It's our passions that makes life worth living, just following your bliss and getting the rewards for all the hard efforts of our labors. Now, let's not forget Camille's.
And we did a video yesterday, brand new store going up.
Yes, Camille's is growing. Rosemary Mann is birthing another baby, growing her love well with feeding us all at Camille's Cafe. Now, I have scored my local living deals because local living gives us so much bang for our buck right here, and we can discover all of the different small businesses and efforts that are being put in growing our community so beautifully. Thank you, Local Living. Home-based realty, check out Karen and Jared Haskell. They will help you with your real estate needs and property management as well. So with that, we're sitting in the Whole Wheatery.
Not only that, but next week we have two new sponsors. It's growing.
Community, there's always room for more. We bloom each other well, healthy, wealthy, and wise. If we have our health, we have our wealth. And we use our wisdom to navigate this. And it is one day at a time, one bite at a time. Be the virus, aren't we, Jim?
Yes, we are the virus, and we want to thank you for being aboard today. It's going to be 102 degrees. Found that out on myAntelopevalley.com right here today.
Really? Okay, so the Northeast, too. It's just blazing all across the country. It's summertime. We have our Farm to Fork coming up a week from Saturday.
That is.
So that's the upside of all this heat is we've got produce in abundance. We have a harvest of tomatoes from our local tomato king. Who knew we had one? It's Eric Holland of Holland Ranch.
By the way, I got to put out a shout for Cherie Holland, who is marketing incredible for this event. How you doing? You're checking out this music going on. This is great.
Oh, we're just filling the air with all the good stuff that we know that life can bring us within the heartache, within all the disappointment. If we can simply acknowledge the emotional intelligence of where I am right now and what is bubbling inside of me, and especially the negative aspects, those are the main ones, to have willingness to let go of all of that hurt and disappointment, and in that space that you create, and letting go of the hurts and the wounds, which were all yesterday, by the way. All of that is yesterday. So as we learn to be right here, right now, in this moment, savoring it, the great company on the journey, we are free to be in this moment. Thank you for joining us.
We're going to go now, speaking of all that what you just said, embodied an 18-year-old woman from China who came here 4 years ago to discover America, and now she's the salutatorian?
Yes, something like that.
Yes, for Elevate Christian School. And what she shares at that graduation was just neat. We're going to go to that right now at the 2013 graduation at Elevate Christian School. She's incredible. And she's got a full ride scholarship to A1 school, as they all do.
We have so much to be hopeful for in our next generation, and all we have to do is be willing to spend a few moments with each one of them and let their light shine. So here you go, Tiffany. We adore you.
Good.
I love this part.
Okay, why isn't it going?
I don't know.
Hi, everybody. This is organic, isn't it?
You're the master.
And now it's my honor to introduce to you the salutatorian of the graduating class of 2013, Miss Tiffany Zahn. Congratulations.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, teachers and students. Thank you for coming here tonight for the graduation of the class of 2013. Thank you. I stand here tonight excited for the future that lay before us, grateful for the trust you have bestowed in us, and manifold for the education that was offered by our school. So, 3 years ago, I carried my luggage, flew thousands of miles away from my home to this strange nation. Leaving my familiar hometown, I began my new life at AVCH, which is Antelope Valley Christian School. When I stepped out of the care of my family and touched the world outside, I realized the way was not as easy as what I had thought before. A strange environment, a different language, and a variant manner. Those differences all made me anxious, uneasy, and even afraid. During that period, nostalgia instantly and fully occupied my mind. However, it was the love from this school that supported me, had my back, and helped me to overcome those difficulties so that I may step on this stage and give this speech. I still remember back to when I was sick. Some parents took me to the doctor and stayed with me just exactly like my parents would. When I had a hard time dealing with my academic problems, every teacher at this school were willing to help me. At this school, I not only learned academically, but I also grew spiritually. The faculty of this school showed the best demonstration of Christianity through their love and their behavior, in how they taught me to distinguish between right and wrong. As you see here, I'm an international student, right? And as you look around here, you will see my fellows, a lot of international students. I believe that every international student has been through this process of nervousness, fear, and nostalgia for home, just like I did before. I also believe that not only me, but also every international student sees AVCS as their first home in America, because we really did receive the care of AVCS. On this day, we are gathering here for the heart. I speak to you as a delegate for my fellows to say thank you to our teachers, our dorm parents, and our school. Thank you. I have been to a graduation ceremony twice. I cried for the last year's seniors, and now, today, I stand at my own graduation. I finally understand how deep I love my school, my teachers, and my classmates. Well, our school is very diverse, holding different appearances, different languages, and different races. We share the same hearts. Everyone is a brick, always sticking together and devoting themselves to build up our class. Well, a brick is easy to break. As a wall, we will never falter. Even though we are going to different colleges, different states, different nations, we will always be connected by our hearts. Thank you.
And now it's my honor to introduce to you the salutatorian.
Okay.
She right in the middle, dear. We'll make a Jude sandwich. That's what I call it when you're in the middle.
Okay. Scoot in there.
Yeah, if you laugh at my jokes, we're doomed.
No, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Well, it's the best medicine of all. So, Jude, you want to tell me your last name, Jude?
Bradley. Bradley, yes.
Okay, and you're a manager. That's your area of expertise.
Actually, I'm a writer. I'm a writer more than anything. I've been writing for about 35 years. And I've got a book out. And
Oh, thank you for coming and just letting us hear more about all of this.
thank you for having me.
Are we ready?
You're there.
We're on this already? Okay, good morning, everyone. Young Love After 50. I'm Marva Greenleaf, and I have the absolute honor to discover all the stars right here in our high desert. Hey, Jude. I can't resist. Jude Bradley is here. What I know about Jude so far is she manages Kevin Herrera,
Yes.
among many other things. Well, predominantly you love to write.
I do. I love to write. I teach creative writing. I used to work for the city of Palmdale and taught the creative writing roundtable program. And now I teach creative writing for Little Rock Library as part of the LA County Library writing programs.
Oh, so just living life.
Living life.
What have you discovered? Now, are you even after 50? Because you're
I am.
definitely young love.
Thank you.
Yes, it's not easy to keep that smile in our heart, is it?
Actually, I'll be 55 in October.
Oh, double nickel. I'm double nickel in December.
Oh,
So there you go.
there you go. We've got a lot in common.
We have a lot in common.
1958.
Yeah, what a great year that was on the planet, 1958.
It was fantastic.
So, and we had talked a little bit about the passages of life.
Yes.
And how the human condition of just striving forward and stumbling and dreams that weren't meant to be, or they were meant to be temporary, and
Right.
and we shed them along the way.
Yeah.
What have you discovered now that you're almost 55 years old, Jude Bradley?
Oh, God. How do I sum up life? I mean, how would you sum up life? I've gone through a lot of transitions, and like a lot of women our age, I've had to reinvent myself a few times. And it's okay. I think the one thing we were discussing earlier is it's really okay to suffer loss, because that's part of growing. That's part of experiencing life. If you think you're going to be buffered and you think you're going to make an easy go of it, you're not going to enrich your soul at all.
It's a rude awakening.
It can be
It's a rude awakening.
Yes,
It was a
yes.
rude awakening for me, and I thought one rude awakening was enough, and then here comes another and another and another.
Yeah, I've had two.
Rude awakenings.
Yes.
And you know what I was able to literally truly stumble upon was because each situation did bring me to my knees. It humbled me in ways. That thing called humble pie, I've learned to acquire the taste for it, and now I know I want a bite of humble pie every day. Every day.
Yes.
So just the reclaiming the young love, to state that you desire to be a baby bloomer instead of a baby boomer.
Yes.
You know?
I think, well, we all go through phases, and after getting divorced, you probably don't believe in love quite like you once did. I think when my second marriage was the long-term one. It was almost 20 years, and it was hard to walk away from. But at the time, when everything was being shredded, I remember distinctly feeling like, who would ever want me? Who would ever want me after all that I had been through, all the wounds, I felt like my internal scars showed, and I felt like there was a certain hopelessness, and I just thought, okay, well, I'm just gonna not live life for a while. A lot of people do that. I escaped. I hid in a room, didn't want to exist for a while. But I think the day when I actually realized and accepted the idea of letting love in again was exactly the time when it showed up.
Well, it is a surrender of the heart. We talk about the heart space, or making room for what our deepest core desires are, and trusting the divine, trusting that we're not forgotten. And then, but I know that there's a permeating pendulum swing within our society, and it's either victimize or be victimized. Victimize or be victimized. And what I discovered is a whole nother path where I could recognize where I was disempowering or allowing myself to be recognizing when someone has been disempowered is a skill all by itself. And I think that really is what activates the wisdom.
I think it's an elevation. They do talk about vibrations in the soul. And it's an elevation of the vibration, your personal vibration, where you look at what is very basic, what is the very basic animalistic instincts of survival, and you get above it, and you start to realize that survival of the soul is paramount.
It is the spirit, the soul food, and just really resonating with the beat of the heart, listening with the heart is such a divine path, a walk of faith, and it's not meant to be smooth. It just isn't. We're the ones who spread all the concrete out, thinking that that's going to make the wave so smooth for us, and therein, again, is the rude awakening.
Well, one of the things I talk about in my writing class is how important it is to journal. And, I'm a big believer in journaling, and I'm always trying to get all of my students, whether you're a writer or not, if you're just living life, journaling can be your therapist, but it can also be your voice, especially when you feel like you don't have one. And and it will train you to articulate your thoughts and your feelings in a more sophisticated, heartfelt, free manner. And, no one may ever read your journal except you, but I realize how enriched my life has become, even with all the problems, when I go back and I read an old entry.
Oh, it's so,
oh my God,
it's so illuminating at how far we really have come.
Exactly.
It's like, I'm so glad I drew that picture. Or, I think one that really jumps out in my mind was really, truly, literally drawing a picture of myself, and then using words that I really believed about me. Bright and authentic and funny, and it's just what I aspire to be within my own self, because I could be jealous and insecure and greedy and hysterical.
Everyone is so many things. And
yes,
we're so busy beating ourselves up for all these definitions that we've been told. It's almost like wanting something more for yourself in life. When I was growing up, and in 1958 and the 60s, my parents, New England people, really told you, you're not supposed to want more. You're supposed to be humble. You're supposed to be shy. Don't make assumptions. Always knock on wood. And it's counter to what the reality of positive thinking is. It's counter to the reality of believing in yourself. And I love where, the generations now, when I was raising my daughter, it was, you can be anything you want to be. Believe in yourself. Trust in your instincts. And be fearless.
And it really comes from shepherding a 2-year-old at the playground, as they're exploring and climbing, and just being there as that safety net if they lose handle of something.
Exactly.
So it's such a wonderful way of shepherding without dominating And because the abuse comes in the domination of one another, and females do it just as much as men do it, and the master classes of manipulation to try to get the hidden agenda pushed forward at the expense of human beings. So that's what we talk about here is the deeper layers, just the deeper conversations that we're distracted from in the everyday insanity.
I think a lot of people do exist in a very surface world, but you sometimes have to. It's okay to get up and go to work in the morning, deal with the stuff that is going to, it's like the mechanics of existence, but you have to take time and remember to go deeper, to relax and say, okay, now I'm going to look at the things that are more important than money, that are more important than just making it day to day. Because I really do believe that if you do all the things you're supposed to do, you will be provided for.
Well, the suffering, if we get stuck in the suffering, and again, in a lot of devastation, we get to visit and revisit this thing called suffering, and it's an easy trap to get stuck in, this thing called crises, chaos, crises, confusion.
It's an addiction.
It's an addiction, this thing called suffering, so to get above it.
Suffering does create an adrenaline surge. It's the same thing. It's almost like you become addicted to that drug, adrenaline. You go, okay, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm feeling. It may not be a good feeling, but it's an intense feeling. And people do get addicted to drama. They get addicted to negative action. And it is just like a drug. Just like a drug.
And the people I love the most, as I've freed myself and take more ownership over my self-responsibility, self-motivation, self-discovery, snap out of it. A lot of it. Okay, sit on that pity pot.
And one of the ways we step out of it is create a new vision with our vision board.
Yeah, that's true. We're very practical with vision boards. The journaling helps you to move it on, just to kind of to sift through it so you can really see. When I was first beginning to understand this thing called anger and being responsible for my own anger, I had to acknowledge, first of all, that, because underneath all anger is hurt. And what I wasn't acknowledging is that I was hurt. I was angry, and I was stuck in being angry, but I wasn't acknowledging hurt.
Like you have more power than being hurt.
Than to say ow. So it was humbling for me to say ow.
It's humbling to say ow. Now, there's a t-shirt, if I ever heard one. It's humbling to say ow.
It really is. But it does help you to move on. I mean, you have to experience, acknowledge, identify, and then the willingness just to let it be transformed into something different. That's where music comes in for me, Jude.
Music. And when we talk about the love of our life, the love of my life sits behind me.
Oh.
That's the wonderful Kevin Herrera. Now, I've been managing Kevin for 8 years, almost 8 years. And he's been a wonderful guitar player. I've seen him transform, going from metal to different styles of rock music, and now he's experiencing the whole jazz blues thing. It's this wonderful transformation of a human being through the music styles and the more sophisticated styles. However, Kevin disappeared out of my life for a while, and then he showed up again as a college graduate and a young man, and I was suddenly free. And we discovered that we had feelings for one another, and it was an unusual relationship on a lot of levels.
Oh, and we do. You question it more than anything. I'm certain.
Well, you'd be surprised because last year we were featured on a television show for TLC, and it was an adventure and a roller coaster. And the whole reason we did it, there were several reasons why we did it, but the first one was to send out the message that people fall in love. Yeah. And it's okay.
And the heart doesn't know how old it is.
There you go.
The heart doesn't know how old it is.
The heart is ageless.
It has no idea, but
how young it is.
That's the truth. The heart has its own beat, and all we know is it is intoxicating. And it's one thing to fall in love, but it's another thing to stay in love.
Oh, I'm telling you.
And that's what you're doing. You both are just grooving in that.
Yes. So we've been together over 2 years now, romantically. And it's just, I'm telling you, I'm having the time of my life.
So take me back to the TLC program and the roller coaster, and then coming out, so to speak. You came all the way out.
Yeah.
Is it something you would do it? Well, you're doing it again.
Yeah, well, kind of. I mean, I think I just still want to say, you know, if you're out there and you fall in love and your heart is telling you this is the person, go for it. You know, just stop worrying. When we were first starting to date, you know, we were literally sneaking into movies and acting like we didn't know each other, and then sitting together and trying to sneak a kiss, and it just got so silly. And all I could think of, because it's a relatively small community up here, and all I could think of was, oh my God, who's going to see us? Everybody knows us. You know, the same people know him as know me because, you know, we've known him for so long. And then this opportunity came up with TLC, and they were looking for May, December. Originally, they said they were looking for a real-life Harold and Maude, if you know the movie.
Oh, I do know the movie Harold and Maude.
Yeah,
That's a little bit morbid, but
it's
yeah, that was love.
But they were looking for, the key was the extreme age difference. And we thought, you know what? I'm tired of sneaking around. I'm tired of people staring. I'm tired of, you know, everybody acting like they want to know but don't know, and, you know, what's going on there. So we decided to do the show, and it worked out okay. It was a little different than what we expected it to be, and there was a huge explosion of interest for about 20 seconds, and then our message was out there. It was interesting on the internet to see how many people were commenting. There were some brutal comments, but that's okay. I mean, at first it was bugging me a little bit, and then I thought, you know what, everybody has a voice on the internet. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. And what I've learned is delete. Delete.
I think
it's my cloud. Say what you're going to say. Delete.
Well, the cool thing is, as a writer, I love to see how people think. I love to observe. I mean, sometimes I'm a big people watcher. If I ever have to fly and I spend time at the airport, that's like the best place to people watch. But when you send out your story and it's on the internet and everybody has something to say about it, wonderful idea generator. You say, okay, this person is so extreme. This person believes in us. We have some wonderful people following us on Twitter, and they are like our biggest fans. They're just, I love you guys, and I hope you do well, and I'm so excited, and I love that. And I love that maybe somebody out there who was thinking, oh, I couldn't possibly be in love with this young man because, you know, he's 20 years younger or whatever, you know, you can fall in love.
Well, and you know, as women, because it really is the worth of women in our society. My own father, who raised 5 daughters and has been married to my mother for decades, he cautioned me. Oh, baby, you know, you're not getting any younger. And this is when I was 32.
Oh, my God.
Oh, baby, you're not getting any younger. And Ian, this is the man, my most important man model in my life. And I had the courage, because my daddy's given me the voice, to say, my value is only increasing. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
Men need us more as they get older. And every time a man is certain you want to be married, it is because he knows it's in his best interest to be married. So every woman has the right just to hesitate with that understanding of what each of us bring to this world.
Yeah, explain
Yeah, what are you
yourself.
trying to say?
You know,
I think Marianne Williamson said it the best in the title of her book, A Woman's Worth.
yes.
It's a sweet little paperback, A Woman's Worth, and it will open everyone's eyes to what our true value is on this planet, and we've only just begun.
Yes.
You've written a book.
Yes,
Many
actually, I have a book out. It came out in 2010, and it's metaphysical in nature. It's called Magic's in the Bag, and it discusses using rocks and herbs and, various elements from nature and combining them in sachets, or what they call gree bags, in New Orleans. Are you familiar with this?
Oh, my folks have lived outside of New Orleans for probably the last 12 years or so.
Oh, how cool.
So that's been my hub, is New Orleans, and of course the voodoo.
Yes, well, a very dear friend of mine that I worked with at Variety a few years ago was from Lafayette, Louisiana. And we discovered that my growing up in the Salem area, in New England and her growing up in New Orleans area, we had some very, very similar understanding of these different types of magical beliefs. And we combined our energies, and she co-wrote the book with me. And it's called Magic's in the Bag. It was put out by Llewellyn Publishing. And feel free to check it out on Amazon. It's still available. So.
Awesome. Magic's in the Bag. And in Native American healing, in shamanic healing, there's a bag there too, isn't there?
Yes. If you read the book a little bit in the intro, we do discuss everything from medicine bundles.
Medicine bundles.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, I had a wonderful gentleman. A wonderful gentleman by the name of Michael Noy, who has passed away this year. I'm very sorry to say, but he was half Lakota Indian and half French, and he came from a wonderful lineage. Exactly. He used to have a sweat lodge out on his property way out in the middle of the desert, and I had the great pleasure of experiencing that one time. He was a consultant for me on Native American information. He's a wonderful guy.
It's a free collaboration. You know, that's what we are. It's organic and it's a free collaboration. And when you have a deep core belief of abundance, that there is enough to go around, then you don't have to feel threatened that someone's going to take something from you. You know, maybe they don't really want what you got. You know,
we were talking earlier, and so many people, myself included, are having major financial issues. You know, you struggle and you just try to make ends meet. But it's amazing to me how we always get what we need. It just shows up. We always manage to get what we need, whether it's through friends or, through good fortune or just
divine timing.
There you go, divine timing.
Divine timing.
It's something reaches in and says, we're going to take care of you for now because your lesson is not learned. And I'm getting there. You know, I really feel like there's some wonderful things in the future. But since Kevin and I have been together and we moved in together last year, it's like our life just continues to grow. We grow as individuals, we grow together. We're so mutually supportive.
Oh, it's the mutual feed of great energy, divine energy. And as Jim and I take Young Love After 50 and I Live Today local living into different communities and across the nation, we really, oh gosh, I lost my chain of thought when he was, sorry, I lost that chain of thought. Well, just the mutual feed of how we recognize it in one another wherever we go. There are authentic people wherever we go with clear vision and a pure heart. And we have the pleasure of just discovering this and bringing it up into the social media to remind us that there's so much more goodness in the world than we're being led to believe on mass media.
Your natural segue here is going to Kirsten.
Kirsten Davis.
Give me out. Turn up the music a little bit. Give me out. And we'll go.
Okay, we have another video to share, a spontaneous occurrence, which happens every day for us.
No, get her out of here.
Oh, wow, so many voices in my head. All right, so Jude Bradley.
Yes.
I am so happy. Our friendship has just begun.
Oh, thank you.
You know. Yeah, it is just this. Thank you for being in the world and bringing what you bring to the world.
Oh, thank you.
And the courage.
I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, the courage to just choose love, choose life in all its forms. You know you're doing something right if there are those questioning you. You know you're doing something right if somebody's questioning you.
You got to stir the pot. Keep it interesting, stir the pot.
Oh, well, mostly lead by example, which is worth every tear.
There you go.
For me, it is.
Absolutely.
So check out Jude Bradley's book, Magic's in the Bag. We have all these natural resources to undergird us and to strengthen us in these magnificent God-given ways.
It's all about energy flow.
It's all about energy flows, yes. And the more we choose to hold on to and suppress and depress and repress, it just makes life unbearable. So free yourself, you'll free everyone around you, and life becomes a whole nother exciting, magical journey. Magical journey. We'll see you in just a minute.
Tied into Kirsten.
I think so. Okay, so the next video you're going to be watching is Kirsten Davis, and she is married to a veteran who's been severely wounded. And he, the wisdom of a man, use flowers to undergird his woman. So she came in to A.B. Flores last evening just to thank Chris Spiker and A.B. Flores for helping her endure an unending journey that she has. And she's also a photographer. Kristen Davis Photography. Check her out.
Chris Spiker, Antelope Valley Florist. With me is Kristen Davis. She just picked up 3 rainbow roses. Kristen, how did you find Antelope Valley Florist?
My husband actually Googled you on the internet, and you were the first one that popped up on the search, and you're the closest in proximity to my house.
And you've just lived in the Antelope Valley a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. You were the first one that popped up, and so my husband just stumbled upon here first. And your roses last literally anywhere from 7 to 14 days, depending on if they stay cool or not.
Yeah, in this desert. What are you doing with the roses?
Well, I'm actually a small photographer myself, and my forte is nature. I like to take them home and just kind of play with them since I just bought a brand new Nikon.
Well, they're beautiful roses. And your husband normally comes in and buys roses?
Usually what he'll do is he'll come in with a small bud vase and just kind of mix and match and surprise me. And since the vase is small enough to ride in the cup holders of my car, he'll do it usually right before we go out of town or somewhere. Like, we usually like to go to Vegas, so he'll like to sit them in the cup holders and surprise me.
What a nice surprise. So we're your only florist.
You're it now. I bought flowers at one time, I think it was from either Costco or Winco or Walmart or somewhere, and they didn't even make it home.
Everybody sells flowers, you know, and sometimes it's convenient. So thank you for making a special trip to Antelope Valley Florist.
Well,
and
thank you for building me beautiful bouquets.
Your husband's retired military?
He served 8 years in the Army National Guard.
And he's taking treatments right now?
My husband does steroid injections every 3 to 4 months in the back for a pinched sciatic nerve. So he's actually doing pretty okay as long as we keep up on the injections.
And how did you and Jim Greenleaf hook up?
I stumbled upon him on Facebook, actually. I am a huge fan of NASA, and I typed in NASA into the Facebook search, and he was the first thing that came up based on the local search.
Yeah, we call him Mr. NASA around here.
Well, he does astounding photography, too.
There's no one in the world doing what we're doing here in the Antelope Valley, at NASA or with AV Nice. And I have an AV Nice wristband for you because your story is really cool. I'll send one home for your husband also. But
oh, cool.
Thank you for sharing your story with us. Thank you for being our customer.
Well, thank you for always having reliable, wonderful, beautiful flowers that are always there to keep me happy even in my darkest moments.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Chris Spiker, Antelope Valley Florist. With me is Kristen Davis. She just picked up 3 rainbow roses.
Well, there you go. We're back. Get over here.
She had not even
Get over here.
They're getting
We're
married.
back.
We're back.
Long. That just happened last December. Isn't that great? See, love, we just have to speak it. In our neighborhood right here in Lancaster, one of my neighbors has a sign over their front door, and it says, "Love is spoken here." And I love that house. I love that sign. I love those neighbors because they claim it above their front door. Love is spoken here. And that's the language. Yep. That's the language, the power of our words. When we speak with love, when we speak with light, there is power in that, and that's how we become the infection.
That's right. That's right. It's cool listening to that. That love. You know, here's the deal. I didn't know if you were 10 or 50 when I met you. I just fell in love with you.
I hope. Well, 10's a little weird, but I hope. Is that happy heart that we bring?
So let's recap with Chris Spiker and Kirsten Davis, who found us on the internet because she went to search, put in NASA, and all my NASA stuff came up first. So she's been following us and let us know about what's going on with Chris. And Chris was pretty well amazed last night when she came in and offered up all what he's done for her.
Yeah, well, that's what keeps us going. We don't know. We really have no clue. Just all who is watching and who's being encouraged and lifted up during very difficult times. And our returning vets, talk about brokenness and worthy of every bit of support. And it's their families that truly are bearing. And they know that as well. That's why November War, can we talk about that
Sure,
too?
sure.
November War, Garrett Anderson, who's the son of Dennis Anderson,
the publisher of the Valley Press,
of our local newspaper for decades, and his son Garrett was a Marine that served in Fallujah and came back, and he and his platoon, service buddies, were able to be honest with one another, their story, and it's titled November War.
And what it's about is one moment transcended everything for them. These 12 guys witnessed their guy in charge be killed right in front of them, and it affected them, all of them. After their tour, they went home. And Garrett, who's a journalist anyway, and quite a filmmaker, by the way, I've seen portions of it. It's excellent. And he went to each one of these people years after this happened to recant her. Well, how'd you get through it? What'd you do?
Yes.
And a lot of them are still getting through it.
Oh,
That's what war does.
The recovery is never ending, and it's one day at a time. But at least we get to ask the question, how are you coping? And how can we do it better? And is this thing called war just because we've been doing it and we declare war in a blink of an eye? Can we declare peace? I'm just going to keep declaring peace. It just makes sense to me that this world would choose to live in peace instead of constant conflict. And we find that in our courts. I mean, we're so encouraged to be in conflict. So thank you for living peacefully with me, Jim Greenleaf.
Thank God the crooked road led me straight to you.
It sure makes it worth living, doesn't it?
It really does, everybody. It's so much fun this way.
And it's simple. Live simply so others may simply live. And all the devastation and disappointment, a lot of choosing suicide as they watch their worlds crumble. And from 2 of us who have, well, the Japanese say it, fall down 7 and get up 8.
Yeah.
Just keep getting back up, because we are able to create a quality of life that we can cherish.
Well, let's move on to what's happening this weekend. Saturday from 11 to 3 is the Super Mixer.
Super Expo for the Chamber of Commerce's.
All of it. It's going to be at the Antelope Valley University.
Yep, on Sierra Highway.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to be there with A.V. Nice. Chris Spiker's got a booth, and we have a lot of fun there. Come on by. I think we have a special opportunity.
A photo op, isn't it?
It's a photo op. And, we have a situation here with A.V. Nice where we're trying to bring the community together. Palmdale's Palmdale, Lancaster's Lancaster, but we're the Antelope Valley.
Yeah.
And we got these 2 guys. I'm not going to mention any names, Jim Ledford or Rex Paris. I'm not going to mention you. But here's the deal. We need to come together. We can only do that with friends. Chris was an amazing thing last night. Chris had a Hispanic chamber mixer at his store in Lancaster last night. Who shows up? Barb and Dave Childs, the city manager of Palmdale in Lancaster, without guns. They're all there because the friendship that Chris has made. And let that be a lesson to you guys. That's the way it is. So we're going to be at this chamber, bringing everybody together with A.V. Nice, and we got a photo op because for somehow we were able to put R.X. Paris and Jim Ledford together, liking each other. And you have an opportunity to take a picture of that. I think it's going to be fun. We're going to plant some seeds there. We may even take a couple tumbleweeds and burn them from Avenue M. I'm not quite sure. But it's going to be a fun time, 11 to 3. Come down and see us. Opportunity to meet some quality businesses, some movers and shakers. But it's only one day, and it's 11 to 3.
11 to 3 this coming Saturday. Super Expo, University of the Antelope Valley, Sierra Highway.
Now, it's co-sponsored by the AV Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And what I love about the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is that it's not Lancaster, it's not Palmdale, it's not Roseman, it's not Little Rock, it's not Quartz Hill. It's the Hispanic Chamber envelops everybody. There's no Avenue M. There's no curtain there.
And you don't have to be Hispanic to join the Hispanic Chamber
See.
either. All these chambers know how to work it together. So this is Lancaster Chamber of Commerce, co-hosting it with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We just want to get to know each other. This local living, promotion, sustainability, it involves each and every one of us.
So last night, we were at the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce mixer over at Antelope Valley Florist. And we had the opportunity to interview through A.V. Nice and really the interview changed halfway through it, and Isaac Barcelona, who is going to be inducted into the Mexican Hall of Fame as a musician.
Yes.
Coming up. Oh, you know Isaac? Yeah. We found this out last night, and as a matter of fact,
go, Isaac Barcelona!
When he came to town 20 years ago, him and Shawnee, they actually, I was selling cars in Palmdale. They came and bought a car from me. That's how I got to know him. But in turn, I took me to the house, all the music, all the things that he's done. And it's quite humbling, you know, as someone who's been a little bit successful too, it's humbling to be real now and to hold on to those memories. But Isaac had a nice interview last night. We're going to talk about this, and we're going to do it right now. But watch how in the interview, Isaac takes over Chris and becomes the greatest promoter in the world. And that's what Isaac does. Amazing. So let's go to that. We'll come back with more of iLive today. We'll hope you're having a good time, and wherever you're at, stay cool, hydrate, and enjoy your life like we do. We'll be right back after this.
Good job, Kitty.
I got Isaac Barcelona. We got him to stop for just a minute between his Hall of Fame tours and all the wonderful things he does and who he works for in this world. He's also the director, the co-founder of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce here in the Antelope Valley.
I'm actually the president now.
President.
Yeah.
Cream rises.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And you have risen. You know, Chris has been around this valley since I've been here, and I've been here for 20-some years. And he's one of those people that you will always see when there's an event in the community, when there's a need in the community. He steps up to the plate every time, and not just with one or two organizations, with everybody. I don't know how you do it. Because
it's fun.
Yeah, it's commitment and it's dedication. You have that. And that's why we're, as president of the Hispanic Chamber, we're very proud to be here today at AV Flores, having our mixer here, to be associated with this man. And I invite you all to do the same. Get associated with this person right here.
You know, the last time we had the Hispanic Chamber here a couple years ago, there were 40 people here, and none of them had ever been in the flower shop before, which I thought was a huge success to have that many people.
Absolutely.
But also to get 40 new people inside the door, which is the purpose of marketing and advertising and promoting.
And how long have you had this locale here?
You know, this one's been here 60 years.
Oh my goodness. That's
crazy, huh?
Almost as old as I am. That's pretty cool. So your family, before you started?
Mom and Dad came up from Los Angeles and bought an existing flower shop. Actually, we were on Sierra Highway till 59 that we moved here.
Okay.
And because the hospital was going to be out here, so this became civilization and great location, and people know where it is, and every day we meet new people.
You know, and what's really amazing is that you have weathered the storms, and I'm sure more than once.
I forgot. That's success, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is. You deserve the pat on the back, absolutely.
So, you know, we have accounts, we know people, we have great tradition, and every day, like I said, we meet new people.
Yeah.
Every day. So we ask them, how did you find us?
Well, you know, you add the personal touch, and I believe that the personal touch in business, as in anything, is what gets you up to another level, and you've been very good with that. I commend you for that.
I guess I was just trained well, and then when Jim came in the store 3.5 years ago and said, what are we going to do with the internet and social marketing, social media, and we kind of came up with the idea, we'll make a video every week. And we'll tell the story about the flower shop, or we'll meet some neat people, or we'll go someplace. You know, we picked cherries, we picked down there in Acton, we picked lilac. You know, we've been to different farms, all kinds of interesting stories, and eventually we called it AV Nice. Nice people, nice stories, the way we talk about ourselves, the community conversation.
Sure.
With the different chambers, with the different groups, the different cities and towns. That's what makes it fun.
What is the one thing that you like to convey to people who are just getting to know who you are and what you're doing here?
Oh, wow. Yeah, because now, like, after so many years of first impressions,
Yeah.
Well, I'd like them to know what I do for a living, because they don't know what you do sometimes.
You bring comfort, joy, and smiles to people's faces.
There you go. It's intangible.
Yeah.
But you know, the flower petals that I put on their porch, they will never forget that.
Right.
never. And they'll tell that story, and just like your first roses or special roses or comfort or thanks, those things, you know, long after the wonderful glasses of wine and the trips and the nice cars, all those stories, you'll still go, the simple things in life.
There's a man who knows how to live. A nice bottle of wine.
Isaac Barcelona.
My pleasure.
Thanks for coming by AV Florist. You're AV Nice.
Thank you.
You bet.
So are you.
Thank you.
Hey, we're back. What a great interview. And you know Isaac.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, who doesn't know Isaac? Do you guys know Isaac? I hope so.
Okay, so we got Kevin Herrera here right now. Now, I got to ask it because, you know, I bet you get this a lot.
Okay.
Are you related to Kenny?
You know, I get that the majority of times, but I usually get Johnny Depp, which I don't see the resemblance, or Chris Cornell, or who else? Some rock star. I don't know, Gene Simmons, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know, I usually get certain people once in a while, and I say, you know what? I get that a lot, and I guess I have the face of a million people.
Well, you know what it is when you're playing, that comes through. That's an emotional purchase.
Right.
I love watching you play. You know, I've never seen anybody play before and look at the camera and go like this. You've done that. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I could demonstrate.
Well, Kenny, we love you being here and doing this, and after the lead with Isaac and to here. So, how do we get a hold of you if we want to hire you?
See me on the air. Hey, how's it going? Just talk to me now. Well, you can contact me through my manager, you know, / my wonderful half.
And what's the number?
Okay, the number. All right.
What's
Get
the
a paper
number?
and a
What's the
pen
number?
right
Oh,
away.
you got
The
it?
number is 661. It's right there on the bottom of the screen, right there. 661.
Well, no, because this is live. So
Oh, this is live.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
Okay.
661-944-7567. Once again, that's 661-944-7567. Give her a call, and if you have any questions, if you want me to play at a private session, or I also teach guitar as well. I'm also in a couple of groups as well, you know, so if you want some live music, some awesome live music, just give her a call. Or if you want to give her a nice message on email, it's judester@yahoo.com. That is JUDESTUR@yahoo.com. So keep in touch, and hopefully I hear from you very soon.
Well, as we're branding you here on the internet, you're from Antelope Valley.
Yes, I'm from here.
Where'd
The
you-
good old desert.
You graduated from Highland High School.
Graduated from Highland High School from 2009, and you know, I just wanted to play music. You know, that's all I wanted to do. As soon as I graduated, I said, I'm going straight to music.
and actually, how old are you?
I'm 22 now.
22.
22.
So 2 years younger. So Paige, our daughter, went to school, she says, with you at the middle school.
Middle school?
And she said, what was the name of that middle school?
Anna Verde. Is it?
No, is that the only one you went to?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, I guess
Maybe it's different. Maybe
Check
it's
that
different.
out.
Yeah.
Connected that. You have misconnected
I
that.
did.
my
Did.
dear.
Well, you know, I'm a guy. I can do that.
I do know of a Paige, but, you know,
Yeah.
maybe not your daughter.
Well,
I'm sorry.
that's okay. That's okay.
Hey, well, I can say I met her.
So when did you pick this up?
I picked this one up about a couple years ago.
No,
But-
I mean, when did you pick up playing?
Oh, pick a plane. Since I was in my mama's womb.
Yeah.
Since I was right in there, just waiting to be born. I was 10 years old. That was about 12 years ago.
Mhm.
And, you know, I just couldn't stop playing. I mean, as soon as
Now,
I
so
started-
did you teach yourself? Were you taught?
I was
self-induced
taught
way?
for the first 6 months. I was having private lessons, and my mom, you know, she's incredible. She's my inspiration. You know, I mean, all she does for a living, she cleans houses for a living. But, you know, she only makes about $400 a month. But she would still manage to take me for my guitar lessons. And, you know, that was the coolest thing she'd ever done for me. And, you know, for the past 6 months, I mean, I had this great teacher. But he taught me basic chords, you know, just, oh, here's a C chord.
Yeah.
Here's a D chord. And here's a G chord.
And that's rock and roll.
Yeah, that's absolutely rock and roll. And, you know, and I said, you know, this is way too basic. So I stopped taking the lessons from there. I already learned what I needed to learn. So from there, you know, I remember listening to Van Halen at the time. I said, oh, I got to learn that crazy. And I said, you know, this is great. So, you know, it just kind of developed from there. And, you know, I picked up the guitar and I said to myself, that's exactly what I want to do for a living. And I said, Mom, I want to play music for a living. She goes, are you kidding me? You don't want to be a nurse or a doctor? You want to be a musician?
Yeah.
But you know what? I mean,
Follow your heart.
Follow my heart. But you know what? A couple of years later, my mom was behind me 100%, and she says, you know what? This is what you want to do for a living, then go for it, and I'm behind you 100%.
Now, I'm gonna put it out here for you.
Sure.
Now, I notice you play a lot with support of songs that are already there, and,
Yes.
and then you do some scat, and then you do some improv. Can you just give us like 4 or 5 minutes of improv without, or do you have to have that background?
Oh, I mean, I can do some little improv. I mean, I don't know what to play though, but I can try.
Just jazz, have fun. And this is off the cuff. This is organic. This is
organic. This is raw.
Yeah. So go ahead and serenade the folks that are here in the store. By the way, everybody, if you're going to go shopping, come down here 9:30 to 10:30 on Thursdays, and you hear this guy play. It's a whole different world.
Yeah, let's all have fun here and enjoy some great people around here. Everyone's great. This guy here, he's an amazing person. He's one of the coolest guys I've ever met. Oh, yeah, please stop it. Oh, you're making me blush here.
Okay, so Kevin, the stage is yours. We'll go out after this and have fun.
All right, I don't know what to play, but I'll sure play something.
Okay, good.
All right, thanks, guys.
You got it.